Hello. Hi. Welcome back to Sassy-N-Sanity. Today we have our gorgeous, amazing, special guest, Kaitlin.
Hello.
It's an amazing bartender that
Yes.
we've gotten to know real well.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And do you notice that our first guest is a bartender?
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's priority.
Absolutely. We're here for you.
So Kaitlin is going to make us one of her favorite drinks to make.
Yes.
So we'll let you take it from here. Kaitlin, what are you making us?
So today we are making an old fashioned, but this is going to be a derivative of the standard recipe. This is more my recipe than anything else. So starting off, we will bring our mixing glass here, and we're going to start by muddling some orange. And then we will add our Luxardo cherries down in there as well.
Those cherries are so
Yeah, those are the best cherries, right, to use?
They are.
Use the red ones and,
The bright red maraschino cherries.
No, never.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Why? Yeah, when you go to a place and somebody has maraschino cherries, they're not really doing it the right way. They're not doing it the right way. And in fact, they're disgracing the old-fashions in general. Okay. Now, why is this your favorite one to make? So this has kind of become my signature drink to make. I have some experience with the old fashioned, just like myself, and making it for some friends and family, and just through the club, it has started to become kind of my reputation. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so you're going to get that nice and muddled down in there. You're going to want to release all of those oils from the orange peel. Get that juice down in there.
Yeah, so you put the peel in there to get the orange.
You notice there's ice balls, right? Yeah, so you will use large ice down in your glass.
And why is that?
It helps to not dilute so fast and overwater the drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now we're going to come in, since we're making 3 at one time in one glass, we're going to come in with probably 15 dashes of Angostura bitters. But that is the recipe times 3. And then what you're going to need is about 1.5 ounces of simple syrup, because it is 1/2 ounce per drink. Then your old fashioned is going to be about 2 ounces of bourbon per drink. So we are going for 6. 3. We're using Buffalo Trace. Is your favorite bourbon that you like to use? So Buffalo Trace is a great one, just because it's a wonderful recipe for its price point. And so we are going to go ahead and get this nice and stirred up here. And then we are going to go ahead and
Smells
pour.
It does. You guys will smell it. Fabulous. Oh, delicious.
All right, now to top it all off, we are going to take these orange peels that we've just peeled the rind right off of, and you're going to take them. I'm actually going to let you girls do yours.
Like DIY.
Yes, and you're going to have the outside of the peel facing your glass.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take it and you're going to pinch it, and it will release all those oils. So you're going to pinch it this way. Yep, so hands on top. And it comes right out over top of there, and then you're going to give it a nice little twist. Those oils still come out of there. And dip that right down in. So cheers, ladies.
Thank you.
Oh, delicious.
That's very.
It's like it's not even heavy. Like, it's just, yeah.
So good.
And that is because of the orange and the cherry that we muddled down in the beginning. It definitely rounds out the bourbon for sure.
It's really got a nice fruity flavor.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, we'll see you back in a second. So we have our glorious drink. Cheers.
Cheers again. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for stopping. So we have a bunch of questions that we want to ask Kaitlin, and just to see a little bit about her, why she, the first one is, why did she become a bartender?
Well, the short answer is that I've always been intrigued by the bar.
Really?
Yes. I've had some family members that obviously married into our family, and she was the owner of a bar. And I just always thought, like, what a boss babe. And I've just always been intrigued by the bar. As soon as I went to college, of course, I was obsessed with the bar, trying to get into them, illegally. So I started working in a bar called Courtside Pizza in Athens, Ohio, where I went to college, and just started asking a bunch of questions, bothering the bartenders all the time, bothering our owner, telling him I wanted to work behind the bar. And I got my opportunity again. And soon after I graduated, I moved to California, where they have a state law that says you have to have some type of schooling in order to work behind the bar in California. So even though I had experience, I was not allowed to work until I went to some type of bartending school. And then I did that, and my education behind the bar just went through the roof at that point. And
so you just made us a delicious old fashioned, but
yes.
Other than that, do you have a favorite drink or a signature drink you love to make?
So this has kind of become my signature drink. I think that that's why I decided to make that for you ladies today.
The tequila one.
The tequila old fashioned it's become a far more recent recipe that I just created. I had a customer ask me if I could make a tequila old fashioned, and I'd heard of a tequila old fashioned before, but instead of going and looking it up and just like replicating a recipe from the internet, I went, you know what, let me just try my own hand at my own recipe.
Have you noticed any trends in when you're behind the bar? Like everybody one day wants this, or
Well, it does not cycle so quickly as I mean, definitely you'll see things take off. If somebody orders an espresso martini, the whole place orders an espresso martini. So we do see some trends like that. With a margarita, as soon as one goes out, you're making 100. Exactly. But more trends that I've seen throughout, like over several years, is that a booze will take more like front and center. So like there was a point in time where flavored vodkas were all the rage. There was a point in time where gin took its little spotlight for just a second. And then now we're seeing bourbon take more of a spotlight these days rather than like your standard vodkas or tequilas or anything like that.
It seems like bourbon's really on trend.
Bourbon is very on trend right now.
Oh, what's the most outrageous cocktail request you've ever had?
I can't think of like an outrageous request that I thought that has ever like come out to be wonderful. What I can think of though is people who will say, I don't know what I want to drink, but I don't want sweet. I don't want fruity. I don't want too strong.
Yeah.
I don't want
I don't want it. Yeah.
And it's like they check off all the boxes and you go, what am I left with?
Here's your water.
I know.
Might be good.
I'm like, glass of wine. How about something like how about a beer? Like, how's that sound?
Yeah.
So those are usually the outrageous things that I think, number one, do you even drink? And number two, what am I supposed to do with it?
I remember the person when I first walked in that I'm like, oh, Cosmo. Hey, I'll have Cosmo.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Right. Same thing.
And we're okay with that.
Yeah.
We're okay with that. At least.
Have you ever had a drink this is something new. Have you ever had a drink, somebody request a drink that you didn't know how and you never heard of before?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Especially throughout the years as I've like learned and worked in different places, like I'll be asked for something and I will just say, what's in that? I can make that for you, but you go ahead and tell me what's in it and I'll see what I can construct for you.
And then do you have like a recipe book behind the bar or do you Google it like we Google everything?
Most places will have a recipe book, but if I am quickly trying to like figure something out, little bartender trick here, you'll say, oh, I need to go grab this liquor from the liquor room. And you're Googling when you get
They like that.
And you usually, cause
that's where they're going.
Yes, exactly. And you're like thinking the Tito's is right there. Where are they going? Just we'll be right back with this. And we will come back with a bottle, but we also will come back with the recipe in our head without naming names.
What is the funniest or most memorable story you've had from behind a bar?
So
give us maybe a year, maybe? Is it like
recent?
Is it recent or is it a long time ago?
Both.
Okay.
So I had a hard time conjuring up, like just a funny memory because I've had lots of laughs behind the bar. I mean, of course, the bar is like a place for fun and for laughs, but I can't think of anything that has really stuck with me. Most of the things that have stuck with me have been kind of sad or kind of scary. Those are the things that I feel like stick in your memory as you work behind the bar.
Yeah. Unless it's something outrageous.
Yeah. Now, this may have been a couple of years ago and this was funny, but this didn't happen behind the bar.
Okay.
It happened outside the bar where we were setting up kind of tents and we were having an event where you could try things at all these different stations around the tents. And I did have a coworker who was loading up a cart, like a golf cart to take things back and forth. And he accidentally sat something too heavy and it fell down and pressed the pedal and it took out about 3 tents.
Yeah.
And it also drug him along with.
That is a good story.
So
that's a good story.
Probably one of my favorite memories.
Yeah.
Nobody was hurt. So that is why it ended up so funny.
No bottles?
Oh, bottles were hurt for sure. But no person was.
People like with straws, like sucking up where the bottles.
No. But it was just funny the way that it kind of just took him along with it.
That's funny.
That's such a funny story.
What is one mixology trick that impresses most people?
Oh, from behind the bar.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen you throw it up like cocktails.
So I am not a flair bartender. I can tell you that. I am
cruising cocktail.
Oh, no. I would be breaking almost everything that I touched. If that was the case, I'd be like, up it goes, and there it's on the floor. Okay. So I do not do anything like that. But people seem to be really intrigued by like a double stir where you have 2 shaker tins and you have 2 spoons going at once.
Oh, you can do that with one hand.
And you can do it with one hand. You're going to have it stuck between your fingers there and you can spin them at the same time.
That's kind of cool.
And I always get the question if we're very busy behind the bar and I'll have like 6 shakers lined up and I'm making 6 different drinks all at one time. They're like, how do you not get that confused? How do you not lose like where you are? Because then I'll have somebody come up behind me and ask me a question or someone across the bar. And I can go right back to making what I'm making. They're like, how do you not get
You know how lost because she's young.
And sometimes
What am I going to say?
and sometimes I just make it up.
So what is one underrated drink that you suggest people should try?
So that
And when you don't make a lot that you're like, oh, I wish more people would drink this because it's so yummy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you said, people come in and do whatever everybody's doing.
right. So there's not one specific. Everybody's taste is different. So I may recommend a drink and it may be something that they absolutely hate. You know, my recommendation and my advice for that is to get outside your comfort zone.
If you haven't had it before.
Yes. Or just pick a drink that you think I would not normally drink this. Try it anyway.
Yeah. Why not?
Try it anyway.
Yeah.
I have had so many people that say, I hate gin, or I hate bitters, or I hate bourbon. And I make them a drink and they go, I actually really like this. And I'm like, see, but you wouldn't know that if you hadn't tried it.
They do it.
Yeah.
It makes it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that's a huge talent that you have too, because you're able to look at something and then I can see your mind's working like, okay, what's going to go with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that's cool.
But that would be my advice for that one.
The one question I did like this was if you could create a cocktail that perfectly captured your personality, what would it be and what would you call it? Spicy?
I think it's sweet bubbly.
Bubbly?
Oh, see, and I wouldn't have said bubbly. I would have said probably spicy. Probably spicy. A little bit more bit.
You know what? I was thinking that, and I wasn't going to say it for a guess.
Something with lots of bitters in it.
What would you do? Like, what would you put in it? Do you know?
Probably gin or tequila, because those are my 2 favorite liquors. Just because they have such complex flavors. They have so many layers of flavor. I would probably choose something like that. Yes, with bitters.
Bitter tequila.
Yeah, I know.
Bitter tequila, bitter gin, and something a little bit more savory, not so sweet.
Savor.
She's not sweet. She's bitter. She's not sweet.
She's savory.
And she's savory. She's funny. If our podcast was a cocktail, what would you call it? And what would its signature flavor or twist be? And it can't be bitter.
I was going to say that yes, the flavors of this podcast would be like a Prosecco sangria. And it is because the Prosecco gives that bubbly, that airy, and that softness. It's like the way that you feel after a good laugh. So that's what Prosecco.
They all know we love Prosecco.
Yeah.
Yeah, love Prosecco.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the sangria, all those layers of the fruit, like it's a different flavor at each sip. Yes, different flavor. It's multifaceted.
What are we calling it?
And I think we should call it tangent.
I'm gonna order that. It'll be a tangent.
That's right.
I love it.
You have to make then the sangria.
100%.
Okay. All right, we're in. All right.
Tangent lines.
So you know what? We have a few questions, like just very quick things that you're going to ask you. But before we do that, let's do another toast. Because this is so easy. This is delicious. I'm gonna make you make this later. So good, so good. Okay.
Shaken or stirred?
Shaken.
If you could only stock 3 liquors behind the bar, what would they be? Tequila, we know that. And gin.
Honestly, I don't think gin. I think tequila, bourbon, vodka.
Those are the most popular.
Those are the most popular right now. So if that's all I was going to do right now, it would be tequila, bourbon, vodka.
Or vodka. Melt ice or square ice?
Oh, square.
Really?
Square. I love the square.
If you're going to throw a themed cocktail party, what would it be? What?
All I can think of are my small children right now, and probably Barbie, because we are just eyeball deep in Barbie stuff right now. That I just think I am just so well versed in the world of Barbie right now that I'm like, Barbie, we'll be partying.
What's the make? Yeah. What's the drink? What do you think? It's got to be Prosecco.
It's gotta be pink, and it's gotta be Prosecco.
What could be pink? What's it
Like a strawberry pink prosecco-y thing.
Or even like a strawberry margarita would be great because she's also on the beach a lot.
That's the love the strawberry margarita.
Yeah.
I was thinking strawberry stuff.
Yeah,
And she's a little too skinny. We got to fatten her.
exactly. Got to do something.
It's not for salt or sugar or something.
Yeah, let's get her bloated.
So yeah, she's like it.
Barbie bloated.
Yeah, and we'll have all the fun.
I love it. I love it. So what would Ken drink? He wouldn't drink that pink drink, would he?
Yes, he would.
He would.
I think it's fabulous.
Yeah, Ken would.
Do is we didn't ask about your family. Tell us a little bit about your home life. You know, what you have kids, you know.
Yes, so I have 3 children that range in age from 18 to 4. Quite a gap. But they're wonderful. They're all girls. I adore being a girl mom more than anything else in this world. And I hope that I'm raising strong women, and
Amen.
I hope to empower other women. And so that's kind of like that's my vibe.
So last question.
I was going to say she does empower us.
I know.
I empower you in any way possible.
Right. Last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I would love to own my own bar, to be honest. Like, that's what I would love. End goal, like really pipe dream, would be to own my own bar, have my own brick and mortar space with a kitchen.
Here that
Yeah.
I have your idea. It's called No. You can't get in there unless you're 40 and you get hard. I don't know those shows. I can always play 70s and 80s. It's all you guys.
Yeah.
You can see every one there.
That's right.
Right.
I love it.
You want to put some things with it? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Fantastic.
Let's
All right. Done. Deal.
If you would like to, we're going to set up a GoFundMe for 40 and up.
That's right. That's right.
You do have to get carded though when you go in. This is my goal. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do it.
All right. Well, I'm in.
All right. Well, Kaitlin, thank you so much.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Don't forget to follow us, like, and subscribe to everything, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And don't forget, a little fast keeps you sane. Thanks.